All right, well, welcome everybody. I am Michelle Valenti with the American Parkinson Disease Association. Today we are doing a level 2 standing/seated class, so have a chair nearby if you need that for balance. We usually use those chairs also later in the program to do some seated exercises. The only other thing you might want to have is some water nearby and some weights. Today we're going to be doing intervals. We're going to be doing cardio, strength, and core in that order. We're going to be doing sets of those, so if you don't get it really well the first time around, you have 2 more chances to do it. Okay, so everybody up that wants to get up, make sure that your waters and your weights are away from your feet, tucked under the chair to the side so you don't step on those things. All right, so we're first going to start with just a little warm up here. We want to start with our feet about shoulder width apart, with our toes pointed forward. Arms are down to the side. We're going to start with some deep breaths as we reach up over our head. Stretch and breathe in deep. Exhale and fold and reach down for those toes. Good. Inhale, we're going to reach up again, nice and high. Stretch through that core. Exhale and fold. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale and fold. And one more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Good. And let's try to stand up as tall as we can with our shoulders pulled back. Our arms are out to the sides. We're going to do some small circles forward and around, warming up our back and shoulders a little bit. As you're doing these, make sure you kind of keep your knees soft and keep taking those deep breaths in and out. Good. All right, let's stop and go backwards. And you can sing if you want to. I don't care. I like it. All right, let's bring those arms down. Make a fist right in front of your shoulders, and we're going to push our arms straight out and bend back in. Straighten and bend. Good. We want to try to lengthen our arms. So try to straighten out the elbow there. We also want to open those fingers wide every time. Good. Now let's do the same thing, but we're going to go out to the sides, opening up our chest nice and wide. Trying to straighten our arms again. Good. Now let's take our arms straight down by our sides and curl up. Good. All right, we're going to open up those shoulders a little bit more by doing some circles forward and around. Start twisting at the waist here. And take a look at your shoulders. See if you're turning them in a circle forward. It almost looks like you're swimming or riding a bike with your hands. You're turning at the waist a little bit. Good. All right. Kind of shake out those shoulders a little bit. Now let's do some turning here. We're going to warm up our waist and our core. We're going to turn right to left. Keep your knees soft here. And just think about turning that spine. Good. All right, now we're going to bring our arms straight out in front, bend at the waist, and reach forward. Okay. As you stand up, pull back and open that chest. Reach forward, straighten those arms, pull back. Good. Reach and pull back. Reach and pull back. So as we're reaching forward, we're going to stretch out our back. We're working our lower back here in our core. So squeeze that tummy in tight. And a couple more. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and start with our legs, actually all the way down to our feet. We're going to start with a toe tap here. So you can do both at one time, or you can lift one toe at a time if that makes you feel a little more balanced. You should feel your ankles and your calves starting to work here. Make sure you keep your knees a little bent. Good. Now let's do the same thing, but with our heels. So we're raising our heels up off the floor, squeezing our calves. Good, nice and high, so point up onto those toes. Good. All right, now let's just take the right toe. We're going to lift it up off the floor and spin on our heel out, and then spin on our heel in. Okay, so we're working that ankle. We're also going to work that hip a little bit, turning it. Good, there you go. Nice job. Let's try the other foot now. Same thing. Good. All right, now we're going to do a little march in place here. So we're just going to start getting our whole body moving. That means we're swinging our arms. We're lifting our knees up in the front. Good. Let's see if we can swing those arms a little higher. Lift those knees a little higher if you can. You can go at your own pace. Good job. All right, now let's take our heels out in the front, one at a time. We're straightening our legs as we're digging our heels into the floor, lifting our foot back. Once again, you can go to your own beat here, right? So you don't have to go super fast or super slow, whatever you feel comfortable with. Good. All right, now we're going to do some side steps. Okay, so we'll take 2 steps to the right and then 2 steps back to the left. So we go right, right, left, left. Okay, and here we want to lift our knees as high as we can. Good. So once again, we should start feeling that in our hips, our hip flexors a little bit. I'm going to add a little arm wave here as I move to one side. I'm going to move that arm in a half circle here. Just getting my arms back into it a little bit. Good. Real good. And a few more. All right. I think we're nice and warm. You need to get a drink. I'm going to show you what we're going to start with first. We're going to do some cardio. And remember, we're going to do these for about a minute each. Okay, we're going to do cardio first, and then a strength move, and then a core move. Okay, so you have a lot of time to get that movement down. You can also make sure you're doing things at your own pace, okay? If you ever need to stop and take a break, go ahead and do that. All right, so first, we're just going to do some step-out jumping jacks to start. That's our cardio move. Step-out jumping jacks is where you stay in place, but you step out 1 foot at a time as you do your jumping jack arms, okay? So you kind of push off the floor and back. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. 1 minute. What we're making sure we're doing here is lifting our feet up off the floor, not dragging our foot back. And we're also trying to get those big jumping jack arms, if you can, up over your head. That's what's going to raise your heart rate. Remember, you can pick the pace up. You can also do regular jumping jacks if you desire. Jumping in and out. We have about 20 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. So heart rates are up. We might be breathing a little heavier. We're going to continue on with another hard move. This is a strength move, but we're going to do some squats. So we use a lot of muscle here. Our heart rate will continue to be high with this one. If you want, you can add weights. It's up to you. I'm just holding my weights here. All we're doing with this one is squat. That's it. Working on our leg strength, okay? Our feet are about shoulder width apart. Our toes are forward. If you don't want to do squats standing, you can do sit to stands, standing up from your chair as well. But we want our feet under our shoulders with our toes pointed forward. When we squat, we want to keep our knees behind our toes. So that means when you go down, you need to sit way back so your knees are not jetting out over your toes. And up. That's all we're doing. But 1 minute is a long time, so pace yourself. Okay? If you start out too fast, just slow it down a little bit. I will give you a little indication of where we are in the time. All right, ready? And let's go. 1 minute. Squats or sit to stands. Pushing your bottom way back behind you, working those legs. So we're getting as deep as we can. Good. So we're about 20 seconds in. And now we're halfway through, so not too bad, right? Make sure you're taking those deep breaths in and out. And 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, now we're going to do our core next. So I'm going to set my weights down. The first thing we're doing is a windmill, okay? You can do this seated or standing. We're working on arms big here. So we're going to keep our arms always coming back out to the sides, nice and long. We're also going to make sure that we don't throw our head down to the floor as we reach down and opposite. So we're reaching for the opposite toes here. So to start out, I'm going to take my right hand, reach down for my left toes, and come all the way up. As I'm going down, switching, I'm squeezing that core, and I'm not bending my knees, right? You can have a slight bend in the knee, but we're working our core here. Squeeze that core in tight. That includes your back. Also going to start feeling those hamstrings, right? The back of your legs. Remember to keep your head above your heart. That means you're looking forward instead of down. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, and get a quick drink. So we're going to do those 3 exercises again. This time we won't have as much time in between because you already know what the exercises are. Certainly, if you start to feel like you're doing too hard, your heart rate's too high, please slow it down, have a little break if you need it, because a minute can be a long time for some of these exercises. All right, so first up, our step out jumping jacks. We're still going to go for a minute or as long as you can do it. All right, we ready? And let's start. Big arms up overhead, lifting those feet up off the floor. Remember, you can go at your own pace, so you don't have to stay up with me or your neighbor. We're taking those deep breaths. Keeping those arms nice and long. We have 20 seconds left. Good job. 10 seconds. And stop. Nice work. Take some deep breaths. We're going to move on to our squats. Holding weights if you want. 1 minute. All right, so we want to get those feet right under our hips with our toes pointed forward. Remember, we're going at our own pace. The second set might be a little more tiring than the first. All right, let's go. 1 minute. Sitting way back in those squats. You should look down and be able to see your toes. Try to keep your head forward, though, if you can. We're halfway. And we have about 15 seconds left. Keep taking those deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to set my weights down because we're going to do our windmill again. Remember, you can do this. You can do windmills seated just as well. Our arms are still straight out. Okay. Maybe a slight bend to the knee, but we're not bending our knees squatting as we go down. Okay. We're reaching down and over, squeezing our core. All right, 1 minute. Look straight ahead. Let's go. So you don't want to throw your head down to the floor. You want to stay looking out at me? You can. Squeezing that core as you're reaching down and over. Always trying to keep those arms really long. 20 seconds left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. So that was round 2. You only have 1 round of that left. Right? Usually we do the 3rd round better because we know what we're doing, but we do get a little more tired. Okay? So as you're doing that last round, make sure you check in with yourself. Make sure you're feeling okay, you're breathing okay, and you're not dizzy. Okay? Especially during the cardio part. All right. So our last set of step out jumping jacks, we want to try to get those arms nice and long. All right, 1 minute. Let's start. Remember, we're trying to lift those legs nice and high off the floor as we step in and out. Nice. Keep going. We have about 20 seconds left. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Squats are next, with or without weights. Let that heart rate come down just a little bit, right? Remember, you can switch to sit to stands if you want. But we're going to do this. This is our last set of squats for now. I thought I'd throw that in there. All right, remember, our feet are under our hips. Our toes are pointed forward. We keep our knees behind our toes. Let's go. It's a good idea to try to breathe in and out with every rep. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out. We have 15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. We have our windmills our last set. So take a couple deep breaths in and out. I know your heart rate's up. The squats are a strengthening move, but they also get that heart rate up, so we count that as cardio too. So good. It's a double whammy exercise. All right, but now we get to stand still, just moving our upper body here. Last set of windmills. Slight bend in the knee. Let's keep our arms real big here and go. Try to keep that head forward. Concentrate on squeezing your waist as you're reaching down and over. have 15 seconds left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little break. Grab a nice long drink of water. All right, so our next cardio move. We're going to be doing some kicks here. And you don't have to kick up to your head, okay? This will also help with your balance. We're going to lift and kick. We're going to spin our arms. And as we do, we're going to kind of go up and down a little bit in the front. Okay, so you're going to work your upper body, work your lower body, work the balance. It's also a good coordination movement too. So we'll do that for about a minute. Now, if you have trouble with your balance, you can still do them. You're just holding on, right? You can spin one arm and kind of hold on to the chair. All right, the next time we do it, because we're doing it 3 times, you can turn around so you can do the other arm. Okay? All right, so that's our next move. Everybody's not ready. All right, everybody up. We're going to start our next round. So remember, kicks forward, spinning our arms forward. Let's go. If you want to challenge yourself, you're going to lift those arms up a little higher and then come back down again. Great job. So many things to think about. We have about 15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Take a little break. All right, next we're going to do some strength. I'm going to use my weights. All right, so we're going to do some side leg lifts. We're going to do one side for 30 seconds and then the other side for 30 seconds. So you can turn around if you're holding on to your chair. Okay, so if you need to hold on, you can hold on to your chair. We're doing 30 seconds, side arm, side leg. Now you don't have to use weights for the arm. Okay, it's 30 seconds instead of a whole minute. And then you can turn to do the other side if you want. Okay? We're squeezing our glutes, our hips, the sides of our legs, and of course our back and shoulder here. All right, so 30 seconds, right side first. Let's go. So many of these exercises incorporate a little balance. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. And let's go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, no weights for our next move. We're going to do cross crunches here. Once again, working our core. You could do these standing or seated. So if you need a little break at this point, you could do these seated and still get just as much in your core. We're going to have our fingertips on our shoulders to start. Our elbows stay out. Okay, we don't want to end up here. We want to always have our elbows out to the sides. We're going to lift and reach for that opposite knee, squeezing across our core. All right, 1 minute. Let's try it. Always come out with those nice wide elbows. Great job. So this one's a really hard one. You should really start feeling across that core. "15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a break. All right, so this one's a doozy round, right? So the first one is a lot of cognition too, right? We're kicking, we're spinning our arms, we're raising them up, we're lowering them down. And by the way, you have to breathe. Don't forget that part. So you can do these seated, right? If you need a little bit extra time for a break, you can do these seated as well. Still going to get a lot of cardio here. All right. 1 minute on the clock, or as long as you can do it for. Are you ready? We're doing our kicks with a spin. Yep. All right, let's go. Go up and down with those arms if you want to add a little bit more to it. We're halfway. Keep taking those deep breaths. We have about 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, catch your breath. We're going to do our side leg lifts, side arm lifts. 30 seconds on each side is next. So remember, you can hold on to your chair, right? And then turn. When we do the other side, I will wait for you to start the clock. All right, starting with the right side. Weights are optional here, but we're working on our glute, hip strength, and our shoulders. Ready? Let's go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going back to our cross crunches next. You could do these standing or seated. Working our core, right? You start feeling this one right away. We also want to try to keep those elbows back after we pull up so we don't stay down here. All right, ready? 1 minute. Let's go. Great work on the balance here, guys. Great work. We have 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a break. We're almost done with this. We have one more round. Third time's the charm. So warm in here today. All right, so remember our first exercise, cardio, we're kicking, we're spinning. You don't want weights for this one. All right, 1 minute left. Ready? Carl's ready, let's go. You can go up and down with your arms if you want. You don't have to do that. Requires a little more thinking. Good. We're over halfway. We're almost done with this one. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a hard one today. All right, next up, our side leg raise, side arm raise. 30 seconds on each side. I will give you time to turn in your chair if you need it. So hold on if you need to. It's okay. There's a lot of balance. All right, 30 seconds, right side. Let's go. Good. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. All right, let's go. Last 30 seconds of these. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, last thing in this group is our last set of cross crunches. Bill's ready. He's ready to be done. All right, so is Alan. Okay, Fingertips are on the shoulders. We're going to keep those elbows nice and wide. Ready? Let's go. Squeezing that core. Great job. You guys have a lot of flexibility in your core. That's good. Halfway. Watch those weights over there, Cecil. "15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we have one more thing to do. It's not a series. We're going to finish off with some wide squats. Okay? We're going to finish with those. We're going to try to do 1 minute of wide squats, and then we're going to stretch. So wide squats are like this. Our toes are pointed out. Our legs are real wide, and we want to go straight down. Okay? Just to finish, you can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. All right, we ready? Let's finish strong. Test those legs here. All right, nice and slow and strong. Straight down. Good. We're halfway already. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And have a seat. Great job. Woo. All right, we earned a little break here. Get a nice long drink of hopefully cold water. All right, let's do some breathing together. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath in for a count of 4, out for a count of 4. All right, relax your shoulders. Concentrate on the breath. Ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. All right, let's start working on those legs a little bit. We're going to keep our left foot down and bring our right heel out in the front. I'm going to lean forward, push that leg straight, and then I'm going to take my opposite hand and reach down and over for that toe. That's an option there. You don't have to do that. You might not touch it. That's okay. Our hamstrings are really short. It's hard to reach those toes. We want to take some deep breaths in and out. All right, we're going to sit up and switch. Reaching for that toe if you want. Deep breaths again. You can stay on that 4 count if you want. Good. And let's sit up and scoot to the back of our chair. We're going to keep our left foot down and bring our right leg over the top. We're going to work on stretching our right glute hip area. Okay? So we're going to try to pull that knee up and over towards the opposite shoulder into your chest. All right, so it's really hard to get it all the way up in there, but this is where you should feel it right here. And you use those muscles to do those side leg lifts and our squats. Take some deep breaths. Good. All right, now we're going to take our hands on that inner thigh and push that leg down. We're trying to kind of get our leg from our toes to our knee kind of even with the floor, parallel to the floor. So you're opening up the hip flexor on the top. So that area on me anyway gets really tight. I feel that one. All right, let's switch our legs. So right foot goes down, left leg comes up and over. And then if you want, pull that knee up and in towards your opposite shoulder into your chest. All right, now let's take our hands, place them on that inner thigh and push that leg down. We're opening up those left side hip flexors. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out. Good. All right, let's put both feet down. We're going to do a twist. We did a lot of work on our core today. So we're going to grab the right side of our chair with both hands and turn our body as far as it'll go around to that side. We're going to hold it there and breathe. Good. And let's let go and let's switch to the other side. So to the left side of your chair, turn and hold. All right, and let's come back to the center. We're going to stretch our back and shoulders. So let's clasp our hands and extend our arms out straight, okay? Push your shoulders forward and then slowly drop that chin down. All right, we're going to lower our arms down and lift the chin up. Now let's open our arms nice and wide and low. So we're opening the chest. Okay, keep looking up with your chin. Lean back in your chair. Open up that core. Good. And now let's reach down for our toes, nice and slow. Okay, stretch out that lower back. Use your core to lift your body and reach up over your head toward the ceiling. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and fold. Good. Inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. And let's do that one more time. Exhale down. And let's sit all the way up and give yourselves a round of applause for a job well done today. Woo! I wish I had some treats to hand out. You guys did such a good job. This was a hard workout today. Please take your time getting up. There's no rush to get up and leave. Make sure that you feel okay and you don't have to move your chairs. So have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you. See you all next week. Bye now. Hold on, Bill. Okay.